Hey everybody, World SK here from Bitter Old Goons Gaming. We're gonna try something a little bit different today. I'm gonna live stream one of my arcade repairs. Just gonna bring up the and of course we're not showing this live. Seems to be working. There we go. Beauty. Okay, so what we have here is a 2004 Golden Tee Fore arcade cabinet that I picked up. Basement find of the year for me. It's well, it's kind of a weird unit. It's like a weird cross between JAMA and modern PC-based arcades. And we picked it up for 300 bucks. And what we're gonna do today is start disassembling everything and fixing and cleaning up components. That's basically the game plan. I'm just gonna check something on the stream real quick here, make sure everything's good and live, and we'll get right to it. If you have any questions, go ahead, feel free to post them up there in chat. And yeah, we'll get right to this. All right, so yeah, the plan here is basically to remove all the components from the board and start getting things cleaned up. First thing we're gonna wanna do is take a photograph. We wanna take a photograph of the layout so that we don't forget where everything goes. Because we're going to take everything off this board and we're going to clean it up and then paint it. That should do the job there. All right, so start with this Ide cable. If you're an old school PC gamer like me, you'll be familiar with these. Just gently wiggle that out of there. That's all covered with cigarette stains and shit like that. We'll end up cleaning that up. Little bag. Obviously came with a power supply or possibly the PCB. Let's see what she says on her there. It looks like you could replace the whole thing. A couple things you're gonna need before you start digging into a project like this. Pardon my sniffles, folks, here. Hey, Beaner. Sorry about that. I thought might be a decent time to blow my nose. Anyway, a couple things you're going to need. You're going to want the service manuals for the arcade system itself. Hold on a sec here. Let's see if... Try to move the camera up a little bit here. So yeah, you're gonna need service manuals. So here we have for the monitor. We've got the arcade manual here. This one's really important. And the reason why this one's really important is because it shows all the wiring hookups that we're gonna need later to plug this bad boy back in. So make sure you get all this stuff. A lot of it's available online these days, so that's good to have. Keep those handy. Yeah, there's not much to it. Oh yeah, make sure you got a couple of parts bins handy so that you can keep track of everything. There's my screwdriver. Yeah, we're just gonna start by taking off all these wire clips because we're gonna wash all those and clean them up. Pro tip, folks, most standard socketed screwdrivers will just fit right over these little 1/4-inch screws. Save you the trouble of using a flat blade and screwing that up. We'll put those in a separate container. Because we're gonna want to wash all those. That's also why we took a picture. We want to put the wiring sort of right back where it was from the factory. Disgusting. So this was in a basement for several years, and as a result, you can sort of see a lot. There's just a lot of dust on here. There might be a little bit of water damage. Yeah, no, it just looks like it's dust. So we're gonna definitely be cleaning all that up, blowing all that off with compressed air. Gross. But you know, for $300, it's a steal. What you're not seeing here, of course, I think is the full arcade cabinet. We'll get to that. Come on, don't be difficult. I wonder if I've got... I have a thing for this. It's always the most common sockets that you lose. Let's do this 1/4-inch. Seven 30-seconds, of course. Does not look like I've got one in my collection here. Well, looks like I'll be shopping on Amazon for one of those. Will I? Well, I'll be dipped. We do have one. Perfect. Hey, well, Alex Burks, how are you today, bud? That works better. Just feel like the nicotine tar on this crap. The grossest part about arcade machines, man, is they are stank. All these plastic parts we're gonna wash and basically soak in hot soapy water and brush them off, dry them. Got a ding there. Okay, Mr. Power Supply, you're gonna come next. And again, all the parts go in a parts bucket. So the monitor on this thing's dead, and we're going to attempt to rejuvenate it by replacing the flyback transformer. That's gross. See the rust on it, eh? Little bit of rust there. That's just bad deal. But that's what happens when things get left in a basement. Okay, next we'll be taking this hard drive off. Come on now. Okay, we're gonna need to extend that. Where's my other? Oh, there she is. Oh, you need my help, DL Experts. What on earth could I possibly help you with? Yeah, those ones are slightly longer. We'll remember that. There's 4 of them for the hard drive. So we think this thing might have been upgraded at some point because this has got a 10 gigabyte Western Digital hard drive in it. And in 2004, there's no way that was common. It's definitely a 2002 model, but I think it's been this model 2011. Holy shit. I think this bad boy's been upgraded. How sweet would that be? Yeah, see that stuff we're just going to vacuum off and then blow off. Fragile, do not drop. Okay, so before we take this apart, we're going to remove the video card. Because we're going to want to clean this up. This is disgusting. That is no good. What do you need my help with there, Alex? Yeah, that'll do. I should mention I've got the components of, I got a used trackball and a used trackball, the components of which are here. Make sure I don't mix those up. In fact, I'll get another container for those. So we got a used trackball and a used trackball, and what we're going to do is we're just going to sort of clean those up. And you know what works great for that, actually? Little bits of rust like that is a dry SOS pad will clean off those rust scuffs without damaging the rest of it. What's the can anyway? So this stuff is looks like chrome-plated steel. These are the runners for the trackball. We'll clean them up by hand best we can and give it a good coating of hydrophobic silicone spray-on lubricant. But the real issue with these is the trackballs itself, this used one is in great shape. But the bearings, on the other hand, some of these are pretty rough. So I'm going to actually go ahead and give those a soak in lubricant. Okay, I must have a little jar around here I can use. Sure. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we just got another little Tupperware container. We're going to toss the bearings in there. While I'm at it, I guess probably a good idea to disassemble these and put the rest of the bearings in there. The giveaway, we have a date. We're going to do the draw on the 23rd, if that's what you mean. I don't know how many people have signed up for the giveaway. Looks like they put some Loctite on that. Okay, so we're going to keep that separate. Bearings coming off. Are these exactly the same? Yes. Just checking to make sure there's no left and right on these buggers. That would always get you. One thing I'm noting here is that this here has got Loctite on it. Well, maybe not. Maybe that was just rust. Wouldn't hurt to put a little bit of Loctite on there. Okay. Those are off. We've got the bearings. Give the silicone lube a spray or a shake here. When we get around to the front of this thing, we'll take that trackball apart and give those bearings a soak. and pick the best 6 out of both trackballs to put this one back together. This little spray over here. Have a good little soak, you little buggers. I already see the rust coming out of them. Okay, we'll let that soak in the silicone lube there. Refreshing. I'm not sure what you're asking for there, Alex Burks, in terms of a number. Unless you're asking how many people have applied. Okay, pretty much. Yeah, I'm just moving this stuff out of the way because we're done with this for now. At least until we get the rest of this taken apart. Okay, so video card. And old school PC enthusiasts, take note, this is a 3D effects. Lord knows how many awesome megabytes of memory it's got on there. (2000) 3DFX Interactive Incorporated. N2544. All of you that follow at home, maybe you can search for 3DFX N2544 and see what it comes up with. This looks like it was made in 2000. Really? Come on. Don't be like that. Oh, there's a second bolt there. Okay, we'll just straight up take off this cable. Oh, asking for a redeem number. When we do the draw, what we'll be doing is emailing all the winners and sending them the redeeming codes that they would need to get the games and stuff. Oh, look at that beautiful rust on the VGA connector. Good job. Yeah, and this as well, like we'll clean this right up. You know, soap and water and magic eraser pads can clean that right up. Is that somebody's blood? Gross. Yeah, I'll put you in the cleaning pile there. Okay, so we've got another. You don't want me to take this video card off, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna have to take the board off first. Let me check to make sure there's no screws under there. No, look like there's any screws under there. Okay. Off you go. What? Why is it doing that? Just gotta be careful, there's standoffs. Okay, those are long ones, just like the hard drive. Okay, that seems to have got it. Yeah, these standoffs, I see. I see what's going on here. Okay, well, we don't want you in there right now, Screw. You're gonna have to come out, buddy. Just making sure there's no bent pins or anything on here. Yeah, ask that guy. He knows a lot more about it than I do. Oh, there goes the camera. Try to knock that too far off. Okay, good. Okay, so there's the 2004 PCB. And on second thought, we are not going to remove the video card. I'm actually going to tighten that back up, and we'll just go ahead and give it a good blow off. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic while I get the vacuum out here, folks. 1 second. Okay, I think you could probably hear me again. So, folks, what we're going to do with this is probably going to, well, we're going to take a dry SOS pad, like this, and give all that rust a buff. I'll do that outside. And, yeah. Then we're going to I'm going to mask off a couple of areas. Specifically, I'm going to mask off this area and this area, not this one. And I'm also going to mask off this area here, because that's where the ground is. And the rest of it, I'm going to paint flat black. Move that around. Yeah, that's the plan for that. All right, so yeah, I guess I better just get to sanding. In fact, this holds us pretty well. I'm going to do this right here. I'm just going to mute my mic again. And get the vacuum cleaner out. And just start scrubbing on this. Okay, we're gonna need some power tools here. One second, folks. That's what I'm looking for. And again, we're just prepping for paint here. We are just prepping to paint the surface of this. So we're not going to get it down to bare metal because we're going to give it a shot with creme-clad rust paint, which should give us the flat black surface we want. Do not need the sanding bit. Put you back in your home. Tighten it up. New Dremel, folks. Support our Patreon so I can buy a Dremel. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute the mic because it's once again vacuuming time. 1 second. All right, she's cleaned up enough for rust paint. It's gonna mask off the areas I don't want paint on, which would be the grouting area. And I need my tape of masking. That's this right here. Should be good. Power supply. Just the 2 bolts, I think, where she goes down on is enough. We're making nice clean cuts here because it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, should be presentable. dog. Should look fine. Hard drive we're not going to worry about. In hindsight, should be fine. Should be fine. I'm going to leave you here. Got a compressed air. I'm going to go give the motherboard a shot outside there. Clean it up best I can. Thankfully, it's a super nice day out. Okay. Pro tip, folks, have 2 cans of compressed air. Contact cleaner we'll need. And here's the other can of all right, PCB is kind of clean. Yeah, it looks better. It looks better. Model 2011, folks, complies. Like, I think this has been upgraded. Let's give that a little bit of white here. Wipe here. Rev 6. I think we got an upgrade. I just have a dusting rag here. Using dry Q-tips just to dust the inside of these cooling fins. Make it look nice and clean. Okay, garbage, garbage, garbage. Garbage. Welcome back there, Alex Burke. I think Johnny Rockets answered your question there. Oh, we got one more screw that's stuck in here. Out you come there. Okay, I'm gonna give this thing another shot of air on some of the chips I don't like. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Let's go get this thing outside to paint. Watch your ears. Now I'll just mute myself again. Okay, it's a nice day out, so we're just gonna go outside and do this. For goodness sake. I'm gonna paint it right on my wood pile. Come on, dog. You don't want any of this. Come on, come inside. Good girl. Okay, step 2, shake a can of Tremclad for a minute. And then we'll start disassembling and cleaning buttons. Exciting as that is. How's everybody's Christmas? Oh, there it is. It's gonna get annoying, so I'm gonna mute the mic. Okay, the can is shook. I'm just stepping outside to paint now. Off camera. Got my sheet of metal on my wood stack. Not near anything I don't want to get black. But a little bit of overspray on the old firewood isn't gonna hurt anything. I hope it's not gonna hurt anything. Is there a better place to do this? I guess straight on the snow, but I don't want to get my dogs. You know, uttered in mini workshop everywhere. It'll be fine.
That's why you party? Boy, you really are 17.
Why do you party?
To get riggedy wrecked, son!
I'm gonna make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area. In my case, outside. The point of me doing this on this thing is basically just to stop the rust. This is a conductive panel, which is why we masked off some of the areas. I'm glad. Scanly above 0 outside. And we're just gonna let this thing get a little bit tacky and then we'll bring it inside to dry after. But yeah, we want to stop that rust in its tracks. Tremclad's a shitty way to do it. But a lot easier than replacing the whole sheet. And she was mighty ugly. So if you just tuned in, I'm outside painting. But I'm almost done. Not helping, dog. Go on, wild beast. Be gone! Okay, so we're just gonna let that sit outside for a long time. Be sure to clean out your paint can. Good enough. Okay, dogs, let's get you fed. Keep you away from the fresh paint. Come on. Come on, Dozer. It's supper time for you anyway. All right, so the next step is going to be to pull off the buttons and the trackball. Pull off the acrylic. Pull off, clean this bezel up. That'll be the next thing to do there. I turn you back on, I turn you back on. You guys hear me okay? Do-do-boo-do. Checking some shit on the internets here, folks. Holy crap, I'm muted. Sorry, Dark Avenger. Jeez, I've been talking this whole time. Anyway, I'm just cleaning the roller assemblies for the trackball with an SOS pad, a dry SOS pad. This will just take off any surface corrosion that's there. This was a basement find. It's been sitting in a basement, so there's a little bit of corrosion on the components. We've disassembled 2 trackballs to make one good one. I've cleaned out the bearings with grease, oil, blown them out now. Should be good to go. We're almost ready to start assembling the trackball. And I'm just taking any small signs of surface corrosion off with an SOS pad. Okay. So, how are you feeling, my friend? Ooh, that's pretty good. I think that'll do just fine. Now these other ones are going to require a little bit of assembly. We're going to need these fancy wheels. Yeah, I guess they all got a little bit of play in them. Well, that's fine. And what we're twisting on here, this is how the device measures movement. This is a Golden Tee 2004 Fore edition cabinet that I picked up in a basement on Sunday for 300 bucks. Which is a hell of a deal, folks. Screen doesn't work. We're going to do a cap kit and a flyback transformer replacement on the screen. Hopefully that will fix the issue, because tubes are quite difficult to find. Oops, pop that one clean out. Okay, very good. Just making sure everything's spinning freely here. Come on, you stupid can of air. That's an amazing deal. Yeah, 300 bucks is insane. Okay, so that one is in. One more to go. Oh, that bearing feels great. That one will be just fine. Anyway, spin on the sensor disc. Don't you spin on wrong, you bugger. Tried to cross thread on me. Whoa. Oop, there goes a bearing. Pop you back on, my little friend. There we go. Stay right where you are. Okay, that feels pretty good. So the next thing we gotta do is just tape down these 2 grounds so they don't get caught up in the mechanism. Which means I gotta find my Gorilla tape. Now, originally people used masking tape. Not personally a fan. Gorilla tape is much stronger. permanent. Modern wise, I guess a guy could also hot glue gun that down, but we'll just do it this way. A couple little strips of the good black stuff. Make sure when you're doing this, you're not putting any pressure on the wire. You don't want to pull it out of its little ground clip there. I suppose it's probably impossible for you to see because you're not looking at what I'm doing. I'm just taping down the ground wire. Ooh. And that's what you want to avoid, is disassembling the thing on yourself. Easy now. Get right on in there. Get right on in there. Good. Great. Tape out of the way, we're done with that. Oh yeah, these are way more worn. Yeah, I think that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay, make sure all the wires go in their designated spots, and we have ourselves a rebuilt trackball assembly. Flip her on over. Remember which screws you use to take it apart. Put them back in, and do not forget that this is plastic and therefore is prone to breaking. In general, with assembly, apply lug nut rules. You know, do the one opposite. Bit of case damage on this one. So these need to be tight, yes, but not super tight, because there's actually screws that'll go through and hold the whole thing together. Just don't strip out the plastic. And there you have it. Trackball assembled. Which means it's time to do this now. Just moving my camera. Yeah, that's pretty slick, but which freaking end is up? And this, folks, is why you always take photographs. Okay, well, first we're gonna get you out of here because we actually have a proper ground for this one now. Toss it in your bucket o' screws. Pull out your cell phone. and check the photograph you took of it. Because you got to make sure that damn trackball goes in straight. I'll tell you what. Okay, so it looks like where is it? Yeah. Step one, make sure you don't put it in upside down. Pro tip, ball end goes to the top of the control panel, folks. Appears to match my photograph. And yeah, this goes on next. Actually, before that goes on, these all go back in. Which it looks like, in hindsight, didn't need to come out after all. Okay, so we got 4 washers. And I think those ones were secured with both that. 3, 4. Clean that up a little bit. Do 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 do. Okay, we're gonna give those a little bit of a tighten. Nothing crazy, and then we'll put the lock nuts on. This being a particle board control panel, you don't want to over tighten. It's like good and firm. It's like a hand feel thing more than anything. Now the lock nuts. I actually want to go back a little bit off that. Might actually be a little bit too tight. Yeah, just screw those back a little bit. You want to pull the acrylic on the front too much. These bolts go right through to the acrylic. So I'm just looking and seeing the dip. I think we could do a little better. Could explain why they double nutted it. Because you cannot go down tight. Good enough. Good enough. Beauty. Now this is the bit that really makes it strong. There's the last lock washer. Ooh. 6, 7, 8. 8 lock washers and screws. Not great lock washers, but what it came with and to do the trick, so. I would have gone a little bit bigger on the lock washers. But it's double nutted, so it really shouldn't matter. Should be fine. Everything looks pretty good. Just gonna give those a hand tighten. You want it tight, but you don't want it to go nuts, folks. Get those lock washers flat and then just a little snug turn. Nice. Okay, we're gonna give those all a little snug turn. Go. Not too tight. Okay, that's that. Shizer. Do need to put that ground clip on. Probably would have been a lot easier to do before I put that plate on, but I think we can sneak it in there. Yeah, we're good. Get on in there, little buddy. Good little grounding lug. Good little grounding lug. Give you a little bit of a tighten. There we go. That's about a bajillion times better than it was, I'll tell you that much. Do a little bit of cleanup here. And then we're going to flip this thing around and back the camera off a little bit and get ready to put the control panel and other hardware back in. Which reminds me, I'm going to mute myself for a second because, oh, hold on. Okay, I did not forget to unmute this time. I am going to take these outside and give the power supply and hard drive a little quick dust off. $10 Western Digital WD100. I think I might have had one of these at some point. This we're also going to take outside and give it a quick blow. Quick blow. Always a good idea to clean everything out you can, as best you can. And it's not a bad idea to disassemble things if you have to do that. This, however, looks to be in pretty good shape. It's also a standard ATX power supply, which is kind of not really a big deal to find if we need one. Just gonna give this a quick wipe here. Make it look like it's brand new. It is totally looking better. Wipe off whoever's blood is left on here from the last idiot who owned this thing. Whoa. Ah, who knows how many bars this has been in. The power supply is looking pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's give this a light wipe. This is a dry rag, by the way, folks. This is a little moist, but I'm just gonna do the backside real quick here. Did it up. Okay. Make sure we don't put that on the edge of a table where I'm definitely gonna drop it. And we gotta turn this bad boy around next. Oh God, oh, it's so wet. Try Try not to catch the mic. Hey. I'm gonna give that another quick vacuum. Means I'm gonna be muting. Now this is still a little tacky, so I'm gonna have to wait a minute before we secure this in place. Just gonna let that dry for a minute, folks. Well, that looks about a bajillion times better. But yeah, that's still a little bit tacky. Okay, so I'm gonna take I guess a short break while we let that set. It won't take long to dry. There's dog hair on this thing already. It didn't take 2 seconds. See isolation. I'll be right back. Okay, well that paint dries. We might as well get to pulling the chassis out of this bad boy. I'm gonna spin this camera around, and then I'll probably have to adjust it from there. There's the main arcade unit itself. I'm gonna turn it around. So that you can see what I'm doing. Just unplugging the back here. That's gonna have to get cleaned up. Disassembled and all cleaned up. Okay. Now for the rest of her. These things are super heavy. Oh, you bastard! Oh. It's on wheels in the back though. God damn. So heavy. Oh God. Okay, we'll see how that is for framing. Yeah, that'll work. Make sure I'm not frickin' muted again here. Oh, we're good. Okay, so this whole cabinet has to get cleaned top to bottom. It's not in bad shape. It just needs to be wiped down. But we gotta get the chassis out of here. There's something wrong with the monitor. Luckily, everything is mostly quick connect, and we have the manual. So to actually disconnect it is not too difficult. Gonna unplug a few things here. Get my screwdriver and take a light. Be right back. I'm getting a light. It's too dark. So monitors are dangerous. You have to discharge them. They've got high voltage sources in them. High voltage sources are bad, okay? They will fry you, okay? Yeah, that's the one I want. Too dark. Too damn dark. So I need an extension cord. Which I have handy. Thank you to Johnny Rockets for the lights. Well, still pretty damn darn dark in there, I'll tell you what. Still think go any lower? Then I think it does. It'll have to do. However, what I can do very professional, I know. Super pro, folks. Yeah, that's probably good enough. I'm gonna go check, see how that looks. Okay, so next step is you gotta discharge the bloody monitor. This is always never fun. So these things are a high voltage source, they are dangerous. There's a flyback transformer in there that's gonna be probably hot. And what we gotta do is basically ground it out to the chassis. And the way you do that is with an insulated screwdriver and a wire clip. Preferably something with an alligator, which we do kind of make up here. Yeah, that should do the trick. Yeah, super high voltage. Gotta be careful with this. Basically all we do is ground to the metal chassis and then, geez, I need a better light. And that should be it. Should be discharged. Okay, so next step is we got to remove the chassis. Looks like standard Robertson bits there. We can disconnect the tube module. We'll take a look at this, by the way. Some of this stuff looks a little bit cooked, but I don't think it's like fried cooked. I think it's just used cooked. There's a difference. And we'll get in there with a screwdriver and take the rest of it out. Disconnect. Bag. A good opportunity to use your phone, by the way. But yeah, we gotta get this thing out of here. We're gonna replace the caps in it. And we're also going to replace the flyback transformer, which is a pretty standard change. What do you got here? 2. And a third in the back. Okay. I'm sure you're just staring at the back of my head. Careful around the tube. You don't want to bend or break anything near it. A lot of the windings are delicate. Same with the pins on the back of the tube. And if we need to, we can also check the tube, make sure it hasn't shorted. Oh, there goes the screw. Keep all of those. And there's one more to go. He's in the back, so apologize for blocking it with my head here. Great, that should be the last screw. Just pull this off. Okay, I'm gonna grab my phone. I need a little more light up here. All right. There we go. Okay, that's it. Chassis should just come right out now. Okay, chassis is removed. What part is that and why is it cracked? Oh, this thing's a mess. Give a shot with the vacuum cleaner. 1 second, folks. Okay, we got that moved out of the way. Chassis is removed. Switch the cameras up. Let the Be Right Back thing on. Bloody hell. Just 1 second, folks. Reconfiguring my cameras. Yeah, let's check and see how that looks. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we removed the chassis. Yeah, and other than being disgusting, there's some signs of heating, but nothing major. The next step will be to check the resistances on the tube, but for now we're going to set this aside. We'll have to do some work on that later. But for now,